Okay. Are we nearly there? Whimpered Horace. I don't think I can hang on much longer. Echo's feet scrabbled for purchase on the ice as she hauled herself up the slope, hand over hand. Her flimsy layers of Sleepy Pam's clothing suddenly felt insubstantial in the biting wind, and she began to shiver. Worry crept through her. Were they out of their depth? She grimaced. Yes, they were, but they were here now, and she couldn't let Horace know how scared she was. Echo gazed up at the rocky outcrop which seemed impossibly far away. Not much further, she said through gritted teeth. Come on, we can do it, one step at a time. The muscles in her arms burned as she pulled herself up the rock face with new vigour. A sudden gust of wind almost knocked them both off balance and blew an icy flurry of snow into Echo's face. But she screwed her eyes shut against the cold and kept moving. Slowly, one hand after another, up the slope. After what seemed like a lifetime, Echo finally managed to grasp hold of the jutting rock. She heaved herself over it and lay panting on the ice as Horace dragged himself up beside her. We made it, she gasped, rubbing the ice from her eyelashes and looking around. The fortress wall lay up ahead of them. That's where we need to go. Horace followed her gaze. But Echo, what now? Groaned Echo in exasperation. I do wish you'd stop complaining. But Echo, look. Horace held out a shaky finger. She looked up. Oh. 4 guard dogs were hurtling towards them across the snow, teeth bared. Oh, no. Argh! Squeaked Horace, edging backwards and almost falling down the icy slope. Wait, said Echo, telling herself to stay calm despite her thudding heart. She took a deep, shaky breath. Shouldn't we stand our ground or something? I don't know. You're supposed to be the zoological expert. I study insects, not wolves. Horace clung to her sleeve tightly. Oh, we're going to die. I just know it. We'll be savaged. Shh. The dog slowed to a trot, then slunk forward, snarling. Echo saw shark tooth collars around their muscular necks and a horrible thought occurred to her. Shark's fin peak, shark skull, shark tooth collars. Could the fortress be the home to the Thunder Sharks, the worst of all the sky pirate clans, with a tank of hungry sharks in the hold of their ship? Terror swirled in her stomach and she froze. Echo, squeaked Horace, clutching her hand. They're coming closer. Nice doggy, she said, her voice trembling. Easy now. She glanced sideways at Horace. Any ideas? Without taking his eyes off the dog, Horace gave her a quick shake of his head. That's a no, then. He doesn't have any ideas. The lead dog snarled, its grey pelt bristling, and Echo caught a glimpse of yellow, sharp teeth and lurid pink gums. She swallowed and stepped back, teetering on the edge of the outcrop. If they dropped down the slope, would the Ethernet hold them? Perhaps, but then what? The dogs were bound to be more sure-footed than she and Horace were. What if they followed? Would running away make them attack? She glanced around in desperation. Hey, Lucas, Zephyr, Mungo. A figure appeared in the fortress wall, indistinct in the snow. The dogs all turned their heads. What have you got for me, lads? As the figure jogged towards them, Echo realized relief that it was a boy not much older than her and Horace. He put something small and metallic to his lips and blew. There was no sound, but the dogs stopped in their tracks, cocking their ears towards the boy. Inside Echo's jerkin, Gilbert squirmed. Must be a high-pitched whistle that calls the dogs. And then Gilbert can hear it too. The boy ran forward, pushing his way between the dogs and stopping before Echo and Horace. You're children. Echo licked her lips and nodded. Who are you, and what are you doing in Shark's Fin Peak? Echo thought quickly. The boy was about as tall as she was, with bright blue eyes and curly ginger hair. He wore a coat of raggedy blue furs, navy leather boots, and a shark tooth collar around his neck. More shark teeth, she swallowed. He had to be one of the fearsome thunder sharks, or one of their minions. Was he dangerous? She took a look at the shiny little whistle that he still held close to his lips. The dogs certainly were. Echo thought telling the truth wasn't an option. She'd just have to make something up. We're lost, she said, finally, gesturing back down to where the cloud catcher lay askew in the cave mouth. We crashed our machine. The landing had been pretty shaky, so it was almost true, she thought, crossing her fingers behind her back. The boy narrowed his eyes. On the night of the Alliance meeting, bit of a strange coincidence. He suspects something. We were searching for thunderclouds, said Horace, his voice squeaking. Echo shot him an admiring glance. Good old Horace. She'd knew he'd come in useful. Horace went on. We have this special net, you see. It's made of spider silk. You have an ether net? The boy stepped forward, his blue eyes wide. Show me. Horace looked at Echo nervously. She frowned. This could be bad. Why are you so interested? She said, folding her arms. I heard about them, but I ain't never seen one, said the boy. My dad told me about them once before I came here, of course. His face dropped a little from the memory. Don't you like being here? Asked Echo, sensing a way in. Don't get no choice, said the boy, shrugging, his veneer of toughness suddenly looking thin. My dad lost me in a game of grog rummy. They say thunder sharks are card sharks too, and they're right. So now I work for them. Echo nodded slowly. She was right. So this was the thunder shark's lair. If we show you our Ethernet, what will you do for us? Will you help us get inside? Inside, the boy stared at her. What do you want to do that for? You know all 7 of the Sky Pirate clan leaders are in there. Of course I know, Echo squared her shoulders, forgetting she was supposed to be lost for a moment. I'm a Sky Pirate too. Yeah, right, the boy grinned, and his smile slipped as he looked at Echo's fierce expression. He licked his lips and nodded. I suppose I could show you the way in. We just want to hear what's being said in the meeting, said Echo. Do you know where they're gathering? Or who they all are, she thought, though she didn't want to give away how little she actually knew about the Alliance. The boy nodded and looked up the fortress. The septagonal hall, he said, gesturing at the circular room at the top of the main tower, where the lights flickered from the high arched windows. That's where all the meetings of the Seven Skies Alliance are held. And could you get us in there? The boy bit his lip. It would be difficult. Well, what if we gave you our Ethernet? Echo, Horace nudged her. We can't give it to him. Echo silenced him with a look. It's very valuable, I know, she said, but so is getting into that room. But trust me, Horace. Echo reached into her left pocket and drew out an empty hand. See this? The boy squinted at her hand. No. Exactly. You can't. Ethernets are so fine that they're invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel them. Put out your hand. The boy uncertainly thrust out a dirty palm and shuffled closer to her. The dogs looked from Echo to him expectantly, still drooling, and they looked like they might pounce at any moment. Echo held her nerve. She dropped the imaginary net into the boy's hand. Feel that? Not really. Well, concentrate. It's incredibly fine. I don't know, he said. Well, I might as well take it back then, said Echo, folding her arms. She's pretending to put it in his hand. She's not really putting it in his hand. And then she says to him, oh, can you feel it? And he goes, oh, I don't think so. And she's like, oh, well, then, if you can't feel it, then I'll have it. So he's pretending that he can feel it, even though it's not real. That's crazy. People do funny things sometimes, don't they, Bubba? Instead of just saying, no, I can't feel it, you're making this up, he's pretending that he can feel it because he's embarrassed that he can't feel it. Very strange. No, I can feel it, I definitely can, his brow furrowed. Oh, really? Echo said, because if you're not sure, I'll have to take it back. Oh, I'm sure. A grin spread across the boy's face. Thank you. Echo. I'm Echo, said Echo. And this is Horace. I'm Grub, said the boy. Come on, there's a back door. Follow me. Grub blew his silent whistle again, and the dogs ran on ahead. Echo and Horace followed them along the narrow ledge that curved through the mountains, keeping pressed close to the cliffside and not daring to look down to the right at the sheer drop. As they rounded the corner to the rear of the fortress, Grub suddenly stopped and took out a glow-bug-powered lantern. And we will find out what happens next time. Ha ha. Good night, Baba. I love you. Catch it, Anderson. And one for me. Oh, got it. Nom 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 nom. Sweet dreams, Baba. Good night.